Hi everyone, you are highly welcome to class. In our today lesson, we are going to be looking at standard cost. So with respect to that, we are just quickly going to take an exercise and solve. So we are going to be explaining the various concepts that as we solve the exercise. So the exercise goes thus: Prochem Limited produces P, meaning the product here is P. Produces P from a raw material and the transformation is done in a single workshop. Normal production is 500 units of this. On the basis of production, the technical department has established so this is already the unit standard cost. With respect to this question, they have already prepared the unit standard cost. So I don't know if this thing is that visible. They have already prepared a unit standard cost. So this is the question. So I hope it's clear now to everybody. So they have said element this workshop expenses for us this. And how much is that? They say it's 800, right? Where they have precise what? Include 800 francs of variable expenses and 1,200 francs of fixed cost. Meaning when you take this 800 plus 1,200, you are going to have 2,000 francs. Meaning this workshop expenses is a combination of these 2K is a combination of both fixed and variable. Please take note of that. That's why, sorry, so this question, this 2K, there was supposed to be a small one here, somewhere here. Sorry, we're supposed to have a small one here, something of this sort. So now they have specified here. So it is precise that the nature of work units in the workshop is the hour of direct labor. They have also specified that the nature of work unit is the hour of direct labor. So you take note of this. So from here we are going to move into our spreadsheet and start solving. They have given it. So the production for the month, actually this is what they produced, 480 units. And what did they budget? What did they budget? They budgeted what? 5,000 units, and now they are producing how many? Just 480, meaning there is a variance, right? So with this now, if you have been asked to flex this budget now, you will now flex this budget depending on how many units. 480 units. So the work required further goes: present the comparison table of actual and standard cost, and then analyze the variances on direct expenses. So from here we'll move into the solving, but trust me, we'll just solve the Roman one for now. So open a spreadsheet program. So we are going to classify, spreadsheet, so we are going to have the comparison table. We are starting with the Roman one, please take note. So we are going to have the actual. Let me say 1, 2, 3. So please, you can just be in line with me. The standard. The standard. And then this other way, we have the variance, right? So here I'm going to have my element. Let me just merge these two together. So I have element. So now this actually, what am I going to have? I'm going to have the quantity, since all these things are there in the question. Unit price, and then amount. I will repeat this 3 too here, right? And then under the variance, I'm going to have favorable, and then unfavorable. So since basically I have only 3 elements in the question, right? So just draw it for 4. So I can select escape menu. What am I doing? We'll select and take all borders. Bam! And then we are good to go. So let me just, what is that even? Then let me zoom in a bit. Too small. Bon. So it's good. So I believe you can see this now clear. Just nyangarize the stuff a bit. Control B. So bon, this is it. So now, what does the question say? Let's go back to the question again. So with the budgeted, let me see. So they say that what with the actual, you see that what our normal production plan was for us to produce 500 units of this product P, but we end up producing only 400 units, 480 units. So now, so the consumption of raw material for the actual is 1,200 kilograms, and then the hours of direct labor is 1,800. So the workshop expenses, because they precise that the hours of direct labor is also the same, is the one for the nature work unit. So we are going to use the 1,200 as well for the workshop expenses. So move back to our spreadsheet. So here we have 1,200, right? So I have raw materials here. Raw materials. Direct labor, workshop expenses. So direct labor hours are 1,800 in our actual, and this bar was also 1,800, right? So their unit prices there. The first one we have 510 francs. We have 950 for the second guy, and the third we have 2,150. Now to know the amount, we apply the normal calculation. Please punch on your calculator to confirm. So we are going to be using, you take our normal quantity which is being produced, you multiply by the unit price. You have that. So with this guy I can just autofill. You see the others one will appear automatic. And now for the standard, right? The standard here now we are going to be like we are flexing this side, so that we take the 480 units compare as if to say that's what we actually budgeted for the period. So now we are going to be taking the 480 unit which is produced, we multiply like the first case of the 2k per unit times 2. We are going to have that. So the second one will still have 480 units multiply by, please let me check, multiply by 4, because because of 4 hours for direct labor and 4 hours for workshop expenses. Times 4, you're going to have that. Next, still have the 480, you multiply by 4, as so we are going to have that. And the unit prices they have been given, the first one is 500, the second is 1000, the third is 2000. So move further, the same formula will apply here to have the amount are equal to this times this times this. Oh, sorry, equal to this, which is the quantity times the unit price, 500. So you are going to have the amount, and then we just autofill. And then now for us to calculate our variances. So variance, as I always say, it depends on the what? On your interpretation. Whether the answer is positive or negative, it doesn't matter. What matters is the interpretation. For example, if you budgeted, let's say, like raw materials, what's the standard? Is 480k, and then what's the amount that is actually spent? The actual cost that we have here is what? 612,000, and the standard, which is the one that we have flexed, or 480 unit altogether, which is 480 unit. Now, is it going to be favorable or unfavorable? So if you plan, this was the raw material that we plan to consume, 480 units. Sorry, the raw material we plan to consume is 612,000. That is the actual thing that we consume, right? The actual. But with respect to our budget, we budgeted only what? 480,000, meaning what we plan to consume, what we were supposed to consume is rather 480 units with respect to the unit that we produced. But we end up consuming how many? 612,000 instead of 480,000. So, say you plan to consume but 400, say we were supposed, because this is not the final thing, right? Because we were supposed to produce 500 units, but we rather produce 480. So with respect to that, to those 480 units, we were supposed to spend 480,000 on raw materials, but now we rather spend what? 612,000, meaning the variance here is a negative one, meaning it is unfavorable. That means we have consumed more than what we were supposed to consume for that 480 unit. Please take notes. What am I saying? We were supposed to consume 480,000 units because we produced 480 units. Normally, our plan was that we will produce 500, but we are unable to produce the 500 units. Now that we have produced but 480, we were supposed to spend what? 480,000 on raw materials. But now we have spent how much? 612,000, meaning the variance here is a negative variance, which is what? In fact, not negative, it is unfavorable. So here we are. I will quickly use the formula. This, guys, I say whether the answer is positive or negative, it doesn't matter. It's the interpretation that you have behind that. So this is the variance that we have here. And now let's look at the next one, direct labor. Right? You know what labor is all about. Now, with respect to the 480 unit, we have spent how much? 192,000. Sorry. It's 1,920,000. This is what we are supposed to consume, 1,920,000, right? But now we have rather consume how much? This 1,920,000 is on 480 units. This is what we are supposed to spend on our labor, 1,920,000, but we end up spending how much? 1,710,000, meaning we have spent less than what we were supposed to spend, right? So as a company, it is favorable for us. So we are going to use what? So we are going to take this less this, so that This guy is favorable because we budgeted, like with respect to the unit that we have produced, we are supposed to spend only how much? 1,920,000, but we end up spending something which is lesser than that, which is what? 1,710,000. So it is rather what? Favorable. And now let's look at the last one, workshop expenses. Since we produced 480, we were supposed to spend how much? 3,840,000, right? But now we'll spend 3,870,000. So automatically say what? It is not favorable. So we'll calculate it as well. This less this is not favorable, so we'll put the amount here. So bam, guys, so this is it. This is how to prepare this thing, and then we are good to go. So I hope it is visible, clean to your eyes, please. So this is the comparison table of the actual and the standards. So I believe we meet again in class next time. See you. Practice and practice and re-practice. Solve for more questions to understand. So as I say, this question is already having the standard, the unit cost card, so that's why it was not being, they did not ask us to calculate it or to prepare it again. So thank you very much. Go and make your day a successful one. Cheers.